Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to more Nurse Love Syndrome. I believe this is the right one. Yeah, okay. Mic check. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so bad ending. I'm not in charge of her.
私は担当ではないので。ま、せやな。
When I look at Yamanouchi, she lets out an exasperated shrug.
元担当者の意見はともかく、現担当者としてはめっさ頭の痛い問題やね。
Yamanouchi takes away the medical record and flips through the pages.
見てみ。あのわがまま娘が食欲なくしたんは、沢井が担当から外れた直後からやろ。ってことはもしかしたら。
I want to be your friend. Sorry, senpai. I can't. I understand how you feel.
ボディイメージがあるもんね。見た目が変わっちゃった自分を見られたくない気持ち、わかるかも。でも、近くに行ったらお見舞いに寄るね。タクシーが来たようです。
Miss Sakai slowly stands up.
お見送りはここまでで、わざわざ外に出なくてもいいです。あなた。
Oops. Saying that without fanfare, and then the same moment. It might give you a tummy ache, Ami.
お腹壊すかもしれないよ。壊さないように少しずつ食べます。だから大丈夫。でも安全上患者さんにはあげられないよ。それにドクターの許可ももらってないしね。
I gently turn her down. Ami smiles through tears at what I say.
ああ、カオリンさんに振られちゃったな。でもいっか、そんなカオリンさんだから私は。
Okay. Push. I reflexively push her away. Sorry, little girl. Then the girl vanishes before my eyes. The moment before she vanishes, her eyes are as cold as ice. Do-do. Do-do.
今日も会えなかった。
How many times have I been to Tato University's hospital by now? How many times have I gone to Tato University's hospital on my day off, only to have a nurse tell me with an apologetic face that Miss Sakai is refusing visitors? The chief told me around July that Miss Sakai had gotten out of the acute stage of her condition, but transplants are never easy, are they? It looks like she's been feeling consistently poorly for a while. Sometimes she'll call me on the phone and we'll talk a little bit then, but she has a slight fever that flares up from time to time, and I'm really concerned about Miss Sakai's energy. That's why I've been holding back calling her myself, but she doesn't seem too pleased with that. She told me that she'd gotten permission from her nurse, so I should just call her whenever, but Miss Sakai won't tell me about her illness, about how she really feels, about how much pain she's in, but I've heard a lot from her nurse. Does she not tell me about any of this because I'm unreliable? If that's the case, I've really got to pull it together. Huh? A phone call? And it's from the ward? I wonder if something happened.
はい、沢井です。お休み中、ごめんなさいね。大塚です。今沢井さん、どこにいるの？どこって、寮の自分の部屋ですけど。今日、帝大附属に行った。はい、酒井さんに会いに。酒井さん本人に面会は拒否されましたけど、帝大病院には行きましたよ。
I hear the chief let out a big sigh. I have a bad feeling about this.
落ち着いて聞いてね。酒井さん、病室からいなくなったんですって。
Is she gonna kill herself? Miss Sakai disappeared.
私たちもその連絡を聞いて、うちの病院を隅々まで探してみたけれど、とりあえずこっちにはまだ来ていないみたい。
Miss Sakai's...
沢井さん、ちょっと沢井さん、聞いているの？私、心当たりを探してみます。沢井さん、ちょっと待ち。
I hang up the phone and rush out of my room. I ran out of my room and out of the dorm, but I don't actually have any idea where she might be. What should I do? I really feel like I'm up the creek without a paddle. Wait, what did Miss Sakai say back then? You know, she just might be there. The beach, tinged with orange light, deserted into its off-season. There's someone there. A woman, tall, with a wheelchair next to her. I want it to be her, but I also want to be Ron. I shout her name and run towards her, driven by those contradictory wishes. She slowly turns around and smiles brightly at me. It's that gentle smile I've always wanted to see. That's just not fair, smiling like that at a time like this. I can't get mad at you after seeing a smile like that.
ここで待っていたら来てくれるんじゃないかって思ってました。本当に来てくれるなんて嬉しい。
酒井さん、病院はどうしたの？
I'm too out of breath to speak well.
私、ずっと海に来たかったんです。
She stands up wispily and slowly walks toward the waves. She throws off her shoes and puts her bare feet under the seawater.
冷たい、気持ちいい。
I've never heard this kind of innocent joy in her voice before.
ねえ、大学病院の人たち心配してるよ。うちの病院の人たちも、もちろん私も。
Miss Sakai stops and turns around slowly, with a lonely-looking smile.
私、もうダメなんですって。せっかく移植してもらった骨髄が私の細胞を攻撃し始めたんですって。
My eyes shoot open. GVHD, graft versus host disease. What we feared the most went and happened. The bone marrow that entered Miss Sakai's body decided her cells were foreign objects, causing an allergic reaction.
だから来ちゃった。あなたに慰めてほしくて。慰めてくれますよね。
Her words give me no choice. I look at her in silence to see her lower her head in embarrassment. She has such a thin, pale neck, and I can see marks where Patricia had been around her collar.
せめて最後の思い出を作りたくて。
I swear I heard her whisper, so please help me. Her last memory. Miss Sakai senses something. What can I do? What can I do for her? What do I want to do for her?
ごめんなさい。せっかく沢井さんから骨髄もらったのにダメになっちゃって。
Her statement surprises me.
酒井さんのドナー、やっぱり私だったのね。
うん。私の血が教えてくれた。私の中の沢井さんの血が。
When she says that, I remember that scene in the ward. Back then, was I...
というか、沢井さん本人なのに知らなかったんですか？
だって教えてもらえなかったんだもの。同じ大学病院だし、もしかしたら酒井さんかもって思ってはいたんだけどね。
I put my arm around Miss Sakai's slender shoulder and stand closely next to her. We go back to where the sands aren't wet and quietly sit down. The evening sky has already given way to the stars of night. It strikes me that I should call the nurse's station, but I remember that I forgot my phone. But it doesn't really matter. Going back to the hospital won't do Miss Sakai any good. Chilling waves wash her feet. It looks like the tide is coming in a little more.
水、冷たくない？
うん。冷たくて気持ちいい。ここなら星にも手が届きそう。
Miss Sakai reaches her hand out into the sky.
すごくいい気分。
I hold her gently, wanting to support her wavering shoulders. My palms feel her heat. She's burning up with a fever.
あのね、私本当は今走り出したいくらいテンションが上がってるの。体が動くならきっと海にダイブするわ。
She's giggling away. Then she starts talking about how good she feels right now. About how her life was boring, but the few months she spent in the hospital weren't bad.
だって私には無縁だと諦めていた。恋をしてるんだもの。香織さんって呼んでもいいわよね。
Her haughtiness in not expecting an answer and her selfishness in moving the conversation in the direction she wants hasn't changed at all.
もちろんダメって言われても呼んじゃう。だって私の役目は香織さんにわがまま言うことだもん。
But she's going to vanish from my life.
いいよ。
本当に？後でダメっていうのはなしだからね。
She smiles happily. After a little, this smile will...
香織さんは私のことなんて呼びます？あ、変なあだ名と他人行儀な呼び方は不可だから。
She's got on such an innocent smile, the kind I barely get to see. And I want to see more of it.
そうね。さゆりちゃんでどう？
She doesn't look like she likes it. I can tell. I should have just called her by her name, plain and simple. She wanted me to just call her Sayuri. But that's not a wish I'm going to grant. You're cold enough to disappear and leave me behind. There's no way I'm going to make sure you leave with no regrets.
香織さん。
なに？さゆりちゃん。
When I call her name, my chest fills with bittersweet emotion. And I just know she feels the same way about me.
笑わないで聞いてほしいんだけど、私ファーストキスもまだなの。
I look to see that her face has gone scarlet.
だから私香織さんとキスしてみたい。ダメかしら。
さゆりちゃんのファーストキスなのに相手が私でいいの？
I whisper as I scoop up the long veins that cover her porcelain cheeks.
香織さんは香織さんだけは最後まで私を見捨てないでいてくれたから。
The slowly growing tides reach her thighs. When I put my hands on her cheeks, Sayuri closes her eyes. Then we share a soft, heated, mere touch of a... We converse, our sentences brief. Sayuri takes more and more pauses between her words.
あれ？私疲れちゃったのかな。少し寝る。朝が来たら起こして。
With half of her body in seawater, Sayuri leans on me. Her hotter than usual temperature, her weight against my body, it's all so lovable.
わかった。起こしてあげるからゆっくり寝てていいよ。
As she closes her eyes and smiles, I gently bring my lips to her forehead. It starts to brighten in the eastern sky. The dark indigo gives way to a thin blue, then it changes from a near invisible yellow to orange. The sun slowly peeks over the horizon.
見て、さゆりちゃん。日の出だよ。
Sayuri's eyes are still closed.
また新しい日が始まるよ。
Her eyes are still closed, but she lets out a tiny smile. She makes no sound, but her lips move. Kiss me. I kiss her with all the feeling I can. After a few kisses, I walk toward the horizon with her in my arms.
もう誰もさゆりちゃんを苦しめたりしないから。
There won't be any painful treatment anymore. You won't have to be all by yourself or feel lonely anymore either. From now on, I'll always be by your side.
だから安心して眠っていていいんだよ。
I slowly lurched through the cold seawater, walking towards the sun.
私もすぐそばに行くからね。
Well, damn. Hello. Okay, so next is the sudden ending. Something to do with Senpai, it looks like, so...
白衣性リ
ロードしました。
Let's see... get her to eat... Being your friend would be convenient. No matter how I cover it up, Miss Sakai is going to see right through it. So I've got to go in from the front. I'll say it straight.
だって友達になった方 方がいいじゃない？
Miss Sakai's mouth is agape. She bursts out laughing. I'm taken aback by that and fall into confusion.
何でもバカ正直に言えばいいってもんじゃないですよ。本音はオブラートに包んだ方が何かと便利です。これは覚えておいた方がいいです。
Still getting the giggles out of her system, Miss Sakai flips over her covers. The book she desperately hid is on her thighs.
笑わせてくれたお礼です。
極楽バナナ。
I pick up the book she hands to me. I flip through it to see that it's a gag manga. Black humor no less.
それ実は3冊目なの。1冊目は置き引きにあって、2冊目は親に捨てられて。うちの親、漫画とか大嫌いだから何でも勝手に捨てるんです。絶版になった本は探すのが大変なのに。
She didn't care.
そうなんだ。
She didn't care about how hard it is to find discontinued books. And even so, she searched it out, bought it, and brought it into the hospital with her. She must really like this manga. I glance at her to see her cheeks red.
似合わないって思ってるんでしょ。
そんなことないよ。親しみやすくなったとは思ってるけど。
Miss Sakai goes bright red up to her ears and looks away in a huff. Okay, senpai. What we gonna do? Okay, senpai, here we go. The big moment. There's a soft sensation at my lips. I actually kissed senpai. Senpai's right there in front of me, with red cheeks and a bashful smile.
沢井、一緒に私と頑張ってくれる？
I don't have any reason to refuse.
はい。
それにしてもいい香りがするわね。ってあれ、もう生地部分ができてる。
できてるって、渚先輩が作ってたんじゃないですか。深い話をしながら。
嘘、私無意識に作っちゃった。
You did it unconsciously, senpai? Senpai might think she's no good as a nurse, but I have to think that she's actually amazingly talented.
まあ作り方は見てたからわかるよね。パンケーキ部分は粉と卵と牛乳を混ぜて焼く。ただそれだけ。フライパンに生地を入れすぎるとパンケーキが分厚くなっちゃうし、分厚い生地には火が通りにくいから要注意ね。
So be careful.
人それぞれの好みによるけど、パンケーキ部分を薄くするとクレープみたいになるのよ。あとは生クリームを泡立てて。
Senpai seems really used to making treats. Everything she does is thought out and methodical. Wow.
パンケーキの内側に生クリームとフルーツを乗せて二つ折りにすれば出来上がり。
That was fast. She whipped up the cream in the blink of an eye.
できたものはラップで可愛く包んで食べるまで冷やしておけばいいの。
なるほど。
But since it was mostly Senpai that made this, I gotta review how you make it one more time before she leaves.
とりあえず1枚だけ焼けた生地があるから1個だけ作って味見してみない？
Put my finished omelet in a cute paper bag. Wait. Cute paper bag and head to work an hour and a half earlier than usual. There's a bit of a commotion in the ward after breakfast. And it feels pretty strange being here at this time when I'm on the day shift, too.
おはようございます。
おはようございます、沢井さん。
I find myself leaping back when the chief appears.
すみません。主任さんに会うとは思わなくて。
私はいつもこれくらいの時間には出勤しているわ。
あ、そうなんですか。朝が早いんですね、主任さん。
The chief looks like she wants to say something, and her eyes stop on my paper bag.
それは
昨日言ってたオムレットです。酒井さんに食べてもらおうと思って。
Her expression clouds, but she speaks clearly.
酒井さんは転院したわ。
I heard that wrong, right? Or is this some kind of mistake?
昨夜急変してここでは対応できないからと他の病院へ救急搬送したの。
そんな嘘ですよね。
救急病院での処置が良くて今は容体は落ち着いたらしいわ。
So it's true. Miss Sakai isn't in this hospital anymore.
今日のお昼頃その救急病院の提携している大学病院へ搬送予定よ。搬送先が帝大附属じゃなくなっていろいろと予定は変わってしまうわね。ドクターによって治療方針も違うし。
Depending on the doctor.
でももしかしたら酒井さんにとってはこれが一番良かったのかもしれないわね。
Reluctance colors her voice. My feelings must not have only caused trouble for Miss Sakai, but for the chief as well. Miss Sakai is a patient with a serious illness, and someone undergoing drastic treatment. I knew it rationally, but I really shouldn't have been wasting all of our time with love.
そうですか。
I can't bring myself to say that I agree. Tears stream down my cheeks.
酒井さんから伝言よ。私のことは忘れてくださいですって。搬送先の病院に関しても口止めされたわ。苦しい呼吸のもとくれぐれも知らせないでと何度も念を押されたの。
So, I'm not going to hear where she was taken then. My energy escapes me. The omelet falls from my hand, scattering across the floor. While I was out having fun with Senpai, not knowing a thing, Miss Sakai was suffering. She was suffering so much, but she still thought of me, and I... Overwhelming guilt fills my chest. The chief bends over and picks up the pieces of the omelet for me. All I can do is bury these feelings and keep on being a nurse. All I can do is wait in this ward until the day the lonely girl I betrayed may come back.
白衣性恋愛症候群リセラピー。
The end. Page Alright. So this should be her good ending now, I think. Get her to eat. Because I want to be your friend? At least I think that's the right option. This translation I have is off. Wait. Did I... No. Never mind. Still go. Eat them myself. I think I picked the wrong option. The translation was... Because I think this is just her normal ending. I got that already, I believe. So if this is all the same, I'm just gonna pick the other friend option, see if that works. I'm assuming it's just the same thing, so I should probably just quit. Hello. Da 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 da. Okay, let's try this again. Get her to eat. So I guess this is supposed to say because it would be convenient if you become my friend, but it's missing a few words, so... So I guess this... This is what it says, word for word. Because it's if you become my friend. So that could be either way, right? And I'm assuming that's the right choice because on the normal ending, I picked the other one. Sorry, senpai. Do 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 do. I'll still go. Okay. Here's hoping. Then, after some time,
まだかな。もうそろそろだよね。
落ち着け藤沢。さっき窓からタクシー降りてくんの見てたやろ。もうすぐやって。
でも、ああどうしよう。私ドキドキします。
あんたがドキドキしてどないすんねんな。一番ドキドキしてんのは沢井やろ。
suddenly pulled into the conversation, I almost leap in surprise. I'm the one who should have her heart pounding here? Well, she's right, I'm excited. I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm strangely calm.
静かにしなさい。また呆れられてしまうわよ。でも主任さ
ん。ほら、お目見えやで。
She's finally here.
どうしたんですか？こんなところで勢ぞろいして。何かあったんですか？
I like your hat. It's been so long since I've seen Miss Sakai, and it's really her. I'm so glad. She looks like she's doing well. I choke up at our long-awaited reunion.
冷たい子やね。あんたのお迎えやないの。
はい？お迎えですか？私の？
ほら。
The chief elbows me, but I just can't say a word. So the chief shrugs in resignation and takes a step forward.
寛解おめでとう、酒井さん。内科病棟スタッフ一同、心からお喜び申し上げます。わざわざありがとうございます。寛解といっても、まだはっきりと確定診断が出たわけではないのですが。そうね。確定診断が下りるまで、この病院を図書館代わりにして、勉強がてら暇つぶしにスタッフに指導を入れてやってください。
Give the staff instructions when you get bored of studying.
暇つぶしって何ですか？っていうか、またあの厳しすぎるツッコミにさらされる毎日になるんですか？ツッコミ入れられへんようにきっちり仕事したらええやんか。スリリングやろ？ちゅうことで、うちからもよろしく。当院スタッフの至らないところはどうぞビシバシ鍛えてやってくださいね。
いえ、こちらこそわがままな患者ですが、またお世話になります。
いやいや、こちらこそやわ。根性さんやのにスタッフの指導までしてもらって逆に悪いわ。
They're both bowing in different deference to each other. It's such a strange scene. And Yamanouchi is not sorry in the least, is she?
いえ、好きでやっていることですから。私の方こそ差し出口を叩くみたいで少し気が引けるんですけど。
ええよええよ、ビシビシ歌って。新人なんざ叩かれてこそやねんから。泣かされても泣けるうちが花。
Miss Sakai giggles at that. She sure has softened up a lot. She looks around with nostalgic eyes and stops on me. Our eyes meet.
ほら、あんたもなんとかいい？
She slaps me on the shoulder. Miss Sakai looks at me with a gentle smile. When I feel tears start to come out, I force myself to smile back.
おかえりなさい。
I timidly offer her the paper bag in my hand. Miss Sakai looks a little surprised, but when she looks inside the bag, her eyes grow moist and she seems on the verge of tears. The bag has my homemade omelet in it. Miss Sakai shuts her eyes tight and looks down a little. Then...
はい。ただいま。
She treats me to her greatest smile. With that, Miss Sakai has transferred back to our hospital from the university one for the time being. Her time in the university hospital served her body well, because looking at her blood data, her numbers are now no different from a healthy person's.
こんなこともあるのね。
奇跡ですかね。それとも愛の力？
様子見のために入院してもらっても、これではせいぜい1週間程度で退院してもらうことになるわね。
Ignoring Yamanouchi's comment, the chief murmurs to herself with a grave expression. There's a reason behind her expression, of course. Miss Sakai doesn't actually have a home to go back to. Her relationship with her mother has been tenuous before her admission, but it suffered irreparable damage during her hospital stay, ending with her mother granting her inheritance early and severing all ties. I don't know all of the details, but at the end of the day, Miss Sakai will have nowhere to live if she leaves the hospital.
そんな新しい部屋が見つかるまで沢井の部屋に泊めとったらええやん。
Miss Sakai in my room? I think my heart leapt a little. But ignoring how unopposed they looked to the idea and pushing me away, Senpai puts a stop to the idea.
ちょっと待った。それ、寮の風紀が乱れませんか？私は認められません。
心が狭いぞ藤沢。可愛い後輩の同棲に平成でいられへん気持ちはわかる。しかし状況が状況や。酒井さんがかわいそうやろ。
そこ同棲って言わない。
Ignoring the chief's comment, Senpai kicks up a fuss.
だったら山之内さんの部屋に引き取ってあげればいいじゃないですか。
I think Yamanouchi's right, that having her stay at my room would be the quickest solution. Or we could have her stay in Yamanouchi's room like Senpai suggested. Though I do understand what Senpai means when she complains that it'll throw the dorm into disorder.
酒井さん手先が器用そうですよね。きっと一宿一般のお礼とかで晴れのお手伝いとかしてくれるんじゃないですか。
病み上がりをこき使うほどうちは鬼やない。
After saying that, Yamanouchi puts on a wicked grin and brings her face closer to Senpai's.
それに沢井の部屋に泊めるんは風紀が乱れるって理由で反対しておきながら、うちの部屋に泊めるんはええんか。なんか違うくないか。藤沢。
Senpai holds her chest, having been logically cornered, and stumbles to hide behind me. But I'd love to have Miss Sakai stay over in my room like Yamanouchi suggested, but it is a company dorm, so it isn't really my decision to make. What will Miss Sakai do?
酒井さんのことについては私の方でも少し考えてみます。あなたたちは仕事に戻ってください。
With that, everyone in the nurse's station splits up. And after kicking us into gear, the chief leaves the station, seeming to be thinking of something. That's when I remember that I got a call from the pharmacy, so I leave the station too. I hear that slightly mumbly voice after I knock. It's just so nostalgic, I almost want to cry.
この部屋に戻ってきたんですね、私。
Miss Sakai is staring out the window. The summer breeze pleasantly blows in. I stand next to Miss Sakai as her hair flutters in the wind and take a quiet look at her expression. She looks peaceful. Miss Sakai isn't who she used to be. She put her life on the line when she gambled with that treatment and won.
聞いていいかな。
そのために来たんでしょ。点滴の指示もなくなった私の病室に、しかも勤務時間中に。
That sounds like it has a bit of a barb in it, but her eyes are smiling. Does that mean she was a bit mean to me just now?
酒井さんは退院したらどこへ行くの？
いいところですよ。
Her immediate response leaves me speechless for a second.
いいところって？
いいところです。今はそれしか教えてあげません。
Miss Sakai has a mischievous smile on. Looks like I won't be able to get any more information out of her. Coming to that conclusion, I chat with her for a bit and then go back to the station. A lot has happened, but after the week that Miss Sakai spent in the hospital, she left today. And she hasn't told me where she would go after her discharge.
大丈夫なのかな、酒井さん。
She'll be fine. She's in your room already. I can't help but be really curious about where she went. She left the hospital full of zest and pep, with a clean bill of health from the doctor. We hadn't come out and said we loved each other, but I thought we were on the same page, even without words. And with her out of the hospital, I realized that we really have no points of connection. Now we're just strangers. If I knew I was going to be this worried about it, I should have just told her I loved her. I stop in front of my room. I check the number and nameplate. Alright, 404 is the Y. This is my room, right? There's some paper taped to my door. There's something written on it.
404の住人へ至急403へ来られたし
I don't know what's going on here, but I ring the doorbell of the neighboring room 403. The message told me to come over, so they won't be annoyed at me, right? They're not going to be all, I was sleeping after my night shift, or I have a guest over, right? Seeing who opens the door renders me speechless.
ああ、仕事終わったんですね。お疲れ様です。隣に越してきた酒井さゆりです。さあさあさあさあという名前じゃないです。
さささささ。There's so much I want to say, but I'm just too surprised to form coherent words.
落ち着いてください、沢井さん。私の部屋まだ段ボールだらけなので。香織さんの部屋に行っていいですか
All I can do is nod. I feel downright bizarre as I show Sayuri, clad in her actual regular clothes, to and around my apartment. She tells me how it all worked as she drinks tea. She will be going back to nursing school as a third-year student, starting next year in April. With that, she entered into an agreement with the hospital. She would be specially allowed a room here, with the condition that she works for us when she graduates.
この寮からだと学校にも実習先の病院にもどっちにも通いやすいですしね。
She grins as she puts an immense amount of sugar in the tea I made her. Miss Sakai sure likes her some sweets. I had no idea. But I'm going to see a lot of sides of her moving forward, aren't I?
正直なところ、再来年の話をされても面倒だって思わないでもありませんでした。ぶっちゃけると、生前分与の遺産があるので、そのお金でどこかマンションでも買おうかなって思ったんです。それに、再生不良性貧血は難病指定疾患だから、入院中の費用もほぼ全額が戻ってきますしね。お金ならたくさんあります、今は。
Going to come back. I've got plenty of money for now.
でも、主任さんに叱られました。そんな成金みたいなことは言うなって。
成金
I bet the chief would say that. She seems like she's lived a frugal life.
この職員寮も毎月寮費を納めなきゃいけない。でも、学生の間は無収入だし、生活費もいるしで、無駄遣いしない方向で生活しろって。
Living fees to contend with. I'd have to live pretty frugally.
うちの病院のレベルで満足できなければ、レベルの高い病院に就職したくなっても、それはそれで、その時に何とかするからですって。
Way to get me there.
あの人、ちゃんと私の未来のことまで考えてくださっているんですね。
主任さんにとっては全ての看護師の卵は可愛い後輩に見えるのかもしれないよね。
あの人の下でなら働いてもいいかもしれないって思うけど。
She pauses, then looks right at me. Her resolute eyes make my heart leap.
見捨てるなら今ですよ。
はへ
I have no idea what she just said. I give her a long, hard look, trying to probe out a meaning. She looks away.
私みたいな重たい子見捨てるなら今しかありませんよ。今を逃すときっと
バカね。見捨てるわけないでしょ。
I giggle and softly hugs Sayuri. Her thin, trembling shoulders are lovable.
私は本音が聞きたいな。私に見捨てるよう促す言葉じゃなくて、心の底から私に求めてることを言ってほしいな。
That's what I want to hear. The words she went as far as appearing in my dreams to say to me. I want to hear them directly from the Sayuri in my arms. Not from the girl in my dreams. Sayuri shows no signs of displeasure in my arms and has her face buried in my chest.
言ってもいいんですか？
言って。私はさゆりちゃんの言葉が聞きたい。
Hearing me call her by name now must be embarrassing. She goes red up to her ears. I really can't get enough of this pure sight of hers.
私を見捨てないでいてくれますか？
She says that so weakly. Sayuri is always like this. She's so genuine, delicate, and weak, but she's so ashamed about that she always projects herself as needlessly strong. And she'd be better off being more genuine too.
見捨てないよ、私は。私の方こそさゆりちゃんに見捨てられるんじゃないかって怯えてるよ。
Sayuri looks up when I say that. Her eyes lock. Her eyes are dewy.
口約束じゃなくてもっとはっきりしたものが欲しいです。
具体的には？
その誓いのきいえ、なんでもありません。
When I see Sayuri turn beet red and look down, I feel a sweet shock in my chest.
いいよ、さゆりちゃん。目を閉じて。
でも
目を閉じないとロマンチックなキスにならないかもよ。
When she hears that, she quickly closes her eyes. She's trembling. Oh, she's just so cute. I gently press my lips against her forehead. It's really funny how when I pull my lips away, she looks up at me in dissatisfaction.
不満？
別に。
じゃあ改めて。
I give her pouty lips a bit of a kiss. Her eyes go wide, and in the next moment she stiffens up. She looks like steam is about to blow out the top of her head, and I can't help but burst out laughing. Sayuri would normally fire out venomous quip after quip, but she doesn't have the composure for that. She just stays still as a statue, going fiercely red.
これでどう？
Still crimson, she looks away in a huff.
なんだか思ってたのと違います。
何が？
私たちの関係は私が香織さんをいじめて香織さんが真っ赤になって反論するものです。なのにどうして私が真っ赤になってるんですか？
Why are you asking me?
たまにはいいんじゃないかな。それに私もいじめられてばかりじゃつまらないし。
そんなの嫌です。私香織さんをいじめたいし困らせたい。いじめられて追い詰められた香織さんが涙目になって拗ねる顔は最高なんです。もっといじめたくなる香織さんの表情は私だけのものなんです。私だからいいんです。
She's so monopolizing. It's a little baffling, but I am kind of pleased to hear it, I think. Just a little, though.
それに何ですか？ 香織さんは私のことをさらっとさゆりちゃんなんて呼んで、私は香織さんって呼ぶのに1週間以上ずっとイメトレして毎日練習してたのに。
Oh my god, that's too cute. She was training every day just to call me by name?
あなたは私にいじめられていればいいんです。それ以外は不可なんです。不可ですから。
I burst out laughing again at her childish insistence. I know that laughing will make her pout some more, but I just couldn't help it. Because I can't really put it into words, but I thought that this is happiness.
何笑ってるんですか？いじめますよ。
I gift her with a joy-filled smile.
いいよ、いじめて。
She goes red again. Now this is the life. And all we need to do is keep moving on, holding on to this joy. With that in mind, I note that she's getting ready to complain some more, so I seal Sayuri's lips with a gentle, sweet kiss. And with that, Sayuri, having moved into the room next to me, hangs around in my room just about every night. Sometimes she encounters Senpai and the two argue, but they're surprisingly compatible with each other, and even drink with the three of us on occasion. Though Sayuri can't have alcohol, so she has soft drinks. This is happiness. Oh, and eventually, the girl that I'd always wondered about, the one who would appear in my dreams, just stopped showing up. In fact, I don't have that dream anymore, so I haven't met her since. Sometimes I think back to her. Why did she appear in my dreams? What was she trying to tell me? Sayuri's childhood memories and the chief's sister's memories. What did she want to do after sharing those with me?
リさん、香織さんってば。
My eyes shoot open.
もうまたぼーっとして。香織さんったら。
My first sight is Sayuri, making a flustered face.
時々そんな風にぼーっとしてることありますよね。何か悩み事でもあるんですか？
She looks baffled by me, but I can tell she's worried. I consider fabricating an explanation for a moment. But one of the ironclad principles of nursing is to not do to others what you wouldn't want them to do to you. I only spend a few moments worrying whether or not to tell her. I told Sayuri about the girl in my dreams through email before, but this is the first time I'll actually talk about it in person. I decide to tell Sayuri about what I suspect the connection between her and that girl are. Sayuri's face is tensed up. Well, yeah, I guess she would. My theory is utterly ridiculous, so I bet Sayuri would be completely turned off after I made her listen to it.
香織さんはそういうのって信じる人ですか？
そういうのって？
霊感とか不思議なこと。
話で聞いただけならきっと信じないよ。多分ね。
I'd say it was unscientific, or that it was just a dream, or that I was remembering things wrong. I'd force myself to not believe it. But it's a fact that I had the dream. And it's a fact that a girl who looked a lot like me was quivering in solitude as well. I'm not misremembering that.
自分で体験したことだもん。これを信じないことは自分を信じないことになっちゃうよね。
Sayuri falls silent for a while before murmuring.
それ、実は私も同じような体験をしました。
My eyes go wide at Sayuri's confession. A similar experience.
あなたが担当から外れた頃でしょうか。不思議な夢を見たんです。夢の中で私は幼い頃の私に戻ってました。母親に冷たくされていた頃の私に。 の頃の私はなんとかお母さんに好きになってもらおうと必死だった。お母さんだけじゃなくて、お友達とか先生とか周囲の人すべてに好かれたくて。
Sayuri giggles to herself. The self-deprecation in her laugh tightens my chest.
結局私は疲れてしまったの。
I remember that despair-filled voice.
疲れ果てて、もういいやって、誰も好きになってくれなくてもいいって、そう思って開き直って。
She was so lonely, so hungry for someone's love.
挙句周囲にいる人なら誰でも、無関係の人まで傷つけてばっかり。
If I knew that girl was Sayuri sooner, I would have given her a hug. I would have held her in my arms to let her know that she's not alone.
そう。
香織さんにもひどいこといっぱい言いました。あんなこと言うつもりじゃなかったのにって言った後すごく後悔してたんです。いつも。私の言葉に香織さんが泣きそうな顔をするたびに、また言っちゃったって反省して。
So that's how she felt. I had no idea. Sayuri always looks so unmoved.
今度会ったらひどいこと言っちゃってごめんなさいって謝ろうって思うのに、面と向かうと言えなくて。香織さんが担当から外れてしまって私香織さんにも見捨てられちゃったんだって思ったの。
I didn't see it as abandoning her at all. But I'm sure that's what Sayuri must have thought at the time, and she must have been so hurt.
夢の中でね、真っ暗な闇の中で私幼い頃に戻って泣いていたの。大好きな人にまで見捨てられちゃったって。そしたら香織さんを子供にしたような子がやってきて、大丈夫だよって言ってくれたの。
A girl that looked like I would as a kid? That has to be the girl in my dreams.
その子といろいろ話したわ。家族のこととか自分のこととか。最初は香織さんだって思ってたけど、あの子、私は香織ちゃんじゃないのよって。私には葉月って名前があるのって笑って教えてくれたんです。私の名前のことは内緒だよって。
Well, you're not keeping it secret now. Sayuri giggles. But
いいの？その内緒の話を私に言っちゃって。
Sayuri's face instantly goes pale. Then April comes around and Sayuri makes it back to nursing school. She has to be busy with reports and job practice, but she comes to my room when I'm off my shift. Amidst all that, our relationship has changed slightly, and now...
おかえりなさい。
Whenever I come back from work, Sayuri is generally in my room. I didn't want her to wait around for me when I have to stay back for overtime, so I gave her a spare key to my room back during the long break in May. It's only been a few months, but Sayuri being in my room and saying welcome home has become completely normal to me.
もう勉強するなら自分の部屋でしなさい。
I was a rookie, but now I'm on my second year of being a nurse. The Yamanouchi and the chief still scold me every day, saying I'm basically just a rookie with hair. I don't want to bring my stress all the way back to the dorm, but every time I see Sayuri's face in my room like this, I get scared of next year. Because next year, she's going to work in my ward as a new nurse. I wonder if I can instruct her competently as her senpai.
あら、香織さんたらそんなこと言って。そんなこと言うなら肉じゃが食べさせてあげない。 肉じゃが
She offers me a pot with a smile.
そう、香織さんが留守の間に患者さんに聞いたレシピで作ってみたんです。今の実習先の担当患者さん、料理研究家なんですよね。
I timidly peer into the pot. Yeah, it sure is meat and potatoes. And I think it would be just fine if the potatoes in question weren't soggy potato chips.
作り直してもいいかな、これ。食べてくれないんですか？
Sayuri sneers and parts the sea of soggy chips with her chopsticks.
心配しなくても大丈夫ですってば。
I can see big potatoes under the barrier of soggy chips. While I feel relief, I wrestle with a mix of embarrassment at being tricked and joy that she's opened her heart to me.
また手の込んだいたずらを。
Back in nursing school, Sayuri seems to be really getting along with her former underclassmen that are now her classmates. She has a lot of practical lessons and works with patients a lot as a third-year student, but they're apparently pretty fond of the Poison Ton Whiz Kid character, according to her anyway. And those friends and patients teach her pranks like these, which she in turn plays on me. And worst of all, she seems to be having so much fun that I just take it. Am I spoiling her?
香織さん。
When I turn around at the sound of my name, I feel something soft on my lips. The salty flavor of the meat and potatoes is still on my lips.
大好きな人とのキスはレモン味って言うけれど、肉じゃがを口に入れてキスするとやっぱり肉じゃがの味がするのね。
My mouth is agape. I feel a laugh coming on.
何笑ってるんですか？なんだか。
As she looks at me with surprised eyes, I put my arm around her slightly rounded shoulder, pull her in, and whisper into her ear.
幸せだなって思って。白衣性恋愛症候群、ディセラピー。
Ever since she moved into the room next door, Sayuri's been a part of my everyday life. We can't be together all the time, though. I'll be at work, and even on my days off, she'll sometimes be at school or a training hospital or finishing up a report. But I'm not really sure how to say it, but even when we're apart, it feels like she's always by my side. And as time goes by, she becomes a third-year student, and the second year of her being my neighbor was about to pass. I think that around January, she got really busy, studying with me to take the national exam, studying to take her graduation exam. It was a lot. And then today, Sayuri finally graduated from the Tsubomi-Gazaki School of Nursing. Though I wasn't worried in the least.
香織さん、そろそろ。そんなこと言わないで、もっとよく見たいの。
Noticing Sayuri blushing next to me and knowing how embarrassing this is for her, I take a good long look at it.
もういいでしょ。やだ。もっとしっかり見たいもん。香織さんだって同じもの持ってるでしょ。それはそうだけど、これがさゆりちゃんのだと思うととても感慨深いっていうか。
Sayuri's cheeks were red to begin with, but they turned scarlet.
穴が開いたらどうするんですか。そろそろ卒業証書返してください。
She suddenly lunges at me and snatches her degree back.
さゆりたんのケチ。
ケチじゃありません。香織さんだって同じ学校の卒業証書持ってるでしょ。
だって卒業年度が違うし、ほらこの金色の縁取りが微妙に違うでしょ。
I put my degree next to Sayuri's and try to point out the differences.
あ、見て、校長も変わってる。というか看護学校の校長の顔なんて私覚えてないんだけど。
もう香織さんなんて知りません。
And now she's in a mood. Really, I wanted to pretend to be Sayuri's sister and attend her graduation, but she was so embarrassed at the thought that I held back. I want to make up for that by staring a hole into her degree. I studied with her, waited for her to graduate, and held back on attending the ceremony, so I at least want her to laugh this off. Though I am doing it entirely on purpose to vex her and make her blush.
それにしても、もっとよく見たいだとか、同じもの持ってるだとか、聞き方によっては誤解されそうだよね。
She looks away, red down to her neck. Sayuri's just adorable. Sayuri always acts cool and mature, but when it comes to things like this, I've got more experience. Just a little, though. I think I understand how Yamanouchi feels when she harasses Senpai and I with her sexual innuendos. When you see her get all red like this, you know it's wrong, but you just can't help teasing her. But Sayuri will stop talking to me if I go too far, so I've got to reel it in.
ところで、さゆりちゃんは就職先、百合ヶ浜なんだよね。
ええ、住むところを用意してもらった条件ですから、他の病院に行くほど厚顔無知じゃありませんし。
She looks away in a huff after saying that, too, but her cheeks are just a little flushed.
だよね。
もう、何ですかニヤニヤして。もういいでしょ。卒業証書しまっちゃいま。
That's when I noticed that Sayuri is mounted directly on top of me.
さゆりちゃんって意外と大胆。
そんなんじゃありませんったら。香織さんのバカ。
She goes red and pouts, and I put my arms around her immobile frame and kiss her on the cheek.
ごめんね。さゆりちゃんが可愛くてついからかっちゃった。
もっといっぱいキスしてくれないと許してあげません。
もうさゆりちゃんったら。
And just like that, we were every bit of the obnoxious couple Senpai said we were, enjoying our dorm life.
おはようございます。4月1日、朝の申し送りを始めます。その前に、皆さんに新しい仲間を紹介したく思います。以前からのスタッフは顔見知りですが、知らないスタッフもいるので、酒井さん、自己紹介をお願いします。
酒井さゆりです。以前この病院で治療していただき、やっと恩返しできることになりました。経験不足ゆえにご迷惑をかけてしまうと思いますが、どうかご指導ご鞭達をお願いいたします。
That's my Sayuri, a perfect self-introduction. I'm so proud as both senpai and girlfriend.
ほほう、恩返しなあ。っていうか、本当に来たんだ。
Yamanouchi smirking to herself about something, and senpai can't hide her surprise. The temp and part-time workers who recognize Sayuri smile at the chance to work with her, and the newer staff is all glad to have a new member on the team. Just looking at everyone smiling makes me so happy.
酒井さんは小児科希望って言っていたわね。沢井さんと一緒に306号室をお願いします。病棟内のことは覚えているわね。
はい、職員の皆さんが知らないことも もしかしたら知っているかもしれませんよ。
それは助かるわ。じゃあ沢井さん、あなたがプリセプターよ。一緒に成長してくださいね。
一緒に頑張ります。
It's my third year and my first job as a preceptor. Being Sayuri's instructor is a big responsibility, and it makes me really nervous, but I've got reliable senior nurses to fall back on. It'll be fine.
では夜勤さん、よろしくお願いします。
The night shift nurses begin to report on what happened during their shift.
お疲れ様。
Sayuri looks about as tired as I expected her to, so I give her some honey soy milk to rejuvenate her. The chief had given me honeyed milk before, but since Sayuri doesn't actually like milk, Senpai remade the recipe with soy milk instead. Sayuri is rather fond of it nowadays.
はい、さすがに。
Sayuri would have put up a strong front before, but I'm really glad she's able to come out and tell me when she's tired now.
子供は病気でも元気だもんね。山之内さんにしか心を開かなかったクラリスちゃんがさゆりちゃんに懐いたのは驚きだったけど。
Clarice is a blonde-haired half-Japanese girl in the hospital for Graves' disease. She can speak Japanese without a hitch, but seems like she could never get into Japan's culture of ambiguity, so she finds herself isolated in room 306.
私もあんな風に懐かれるなんて驚きました。何がきっかけになるかわからないものですね。
She lets out a sigh, then smiles. On her first day, when we went to greet everyone in room 306, she also met Clarice.
はじめまして。今日から担当になった酒井さゆりです。よろしくね。
Her hair, bunched up behind her head, flows cleanly down from her shoulder. And Clarice grabbed a lock of it, as if capturing a butterfly.
レイリー・ブラック、もう一度名前教えて。
酒井さゆり。酒井さゆりよ。
酒井さんのことはさゆりんって呼んであげてね。
Sayuri shoots me a sharp look. It looks like she isn't too fond of the nickname Sayurin.
なあ、あなたに質問はしていないわ。あらら。
Well, Sayuri seems to have been accepted by the patients in room 306, so I guess I'm pleased as her preceptor.
じゃあクラリスちゃんの点滴チェックをしようね。
はい、沢井さん。
Her obedient answer and bright smile nearly knock me off my feet. If Sayuri was like this when she was a patient here, I think I might have been in big trouble.
バセドウ病は甲状腺機能が更新するから不足しちゃうカリウムを補わなくちゃいけないの。それから
低カリウム結晶の緩和のために点滴にカリウム製剤が使われるんですよね。でもカリウムは一気に大量投与すると心室細動から心停止に至るため、急速滴下は NG。 滴下管理が必要。
Rapid dosages are highly inadvisable. Trip speed needs to be monitored and controlled.
クラリスちゃんは自宅管理でやっていたけれど、彼女の花粉症悪化で一時的に病棟管理になったんですよね。
その通り。
I didn't get any spotlight. I want to praise her for being as on top of things as ever, but I do want to play the part of preceptor a little. Or maybe that's asking too much.
何かいけなかったですか？
いけなかったって何が？
頑張ったら香織さんが褒めてくれるってそう思ったのに。
Oh, you... I hug Sayuri tight. Eeps.
あーもうさゆりちゃんたらかわいい。
おーい、そこのバカップル、神聖な職場でイチャイチャすんな。
Clarice's IV is a little challenging. Her blood vessels are thin for starters, but she absolutely refuses to hold out her arm unless Sayuri's present. And what's worse, her disease makes it so that she can't hold still, so we have to use a special needle that can stay in her arm even if she moves it.
はい終了。点滴が終わったらこのナースコールで教えてね。
Clarice mostly doesn't talk with anyone who isn't Sayuri or Yamanouchi. Whenever I speak to her, she just mutters her answer in a whisper so low I can't hear her.
教えてくれたら私が来るからね。 Yes, promise. 約束してくれる？
ええ、いいわよ。指切りする？
ああ、腹切り。
え？さすがにそこまで根性入れた約束じゃないから。
ほんと、さゆりちゃん、クラリスちゃんに懐かれちゃったね。
ほら、沢井さん、嫉妬ですか？
そういうんじゃないけど。
私とクラリスちゃんは似た者同士なのかもしれません。あの子を見てると昔の私を思い出します。
How Sayuri used to be, huh?
自分の不幸に浸って私がこうなったのは周囲が悪いからだって責任転嫁して、ただただ甘えてたんです。私本当に恥ずかしい子供でした。
だって実際大変だったんでしょ。責任転嫁でもしないとさゆりちゃんが壊れちゃいそうなほど。
だからって他人を傷つけていいってわけじゃありません。他人に向けた刃は必ず自分に返ってくる。昔の私はそれを知らずに甘えて拗ねて。私には香織さんがいたけど、あの子には誰もいないんですね。それが気がかりなんです。
さゆりちゃん。
She looks like she's about to cry, and I softly put my arms around her.
きっと大丈夫。さゆりちゃんの気持ちは絶対に伝わるよ。
香織さん、
また人前でイチャイチャしてる。主任さんに言いつけちゃうぞ。
When Senpai passes by and teases us, Sayuri goes beet red and shuffles into the nurse's station. Oh boy.
ああ、酒井さん、検査室から連絡があったの。悪いけど一人で外来に行ってくれるかしら。
一人で？
大丈夫です、沢井さん。検査室の技師さんに挨拶がてらちょっと行ってきます。
After seeing Sayuri leave, the chief let out a bit of a sigh.
戻りますしってどうかしたんですか？
The nurse's station's tense air stopped Senpai dead in her tracks.
ちょうどよかったわ、藤沢さん。沢井さんと一緒に来てちょうだい。酒井さんのことだけれど、患者さんへの入れ込みようが度を過ぎているように感じられるわ。確かにクラリスさんは難しい患者さんよ。けれど306号室には他にも患者さんがいるの。ひいきだと思われるような態度はいただけないわ。
確かにクラリスちゃんばかりで他の子からすればひいきしてるように見えるかもしれませんね。
そんな顔をしないで。他の子や親御さんからクレームが来たわけじゃないの。ただこういうことはクレームが来てからでは遅いの。 難しいとは分かっているけれど、プリセプターとして沢井さんは酒井さんを導いてあげてください。
はい。
藤沢さんは沢井さんの元プリセプターとして2人をフォローしてあげてください。
後輩の不始末は先輩の不始末ですもんね。はい、わかりました。
話は以上よ。2人とも仕事に戻ってください。
はい、ほら沢井、行くわよ。
Senpai takes my arm and brings me back to the nurse station. Right after I let out a sigh, someone smacks me really hard on the back.
ほら、新規臭い顔しないの。
渚先輩。
あんたはわがままお嬢のプリセプでしょ。あんたが落ち込んでたら彼女が迷うでしょ。しっかりしなさい。
そんなこと言ったって。
沢井のことだから、どうやって傷つけずに彼女に伝えようかって悩んでるんでしょう。そんな気遣い無用だから。
でもそれじゃ。
ダメなものはダメなの。あんたの変な優しさで今傷つかなかったとしても、いずれまた同じような問題は起こるの。傷つくべき時にちゃんと傷つかせて泣かせるのも先輩の役目。そういうチャンスを奪っちゃダメなの。
You don't want to take that chance away from her?
渚先輩もそうだったんですか？
When I was a rookie, I got hurt a lot at work and I cried a bunch. Senpai cried with me too, but was she thinking this deeply about it?
私にはそんなこと考える余裕なんてなかったかな。自分の成長で手一杯でさ。今でも時々悔しくなるよ。沢井のプリセプやってた時の自分があまりに未熟で、私沢井に何も教えてあげられなかったから。
She pats me on the shoulder and walks off, pulling out some report paper from the cabinet. She seems to be telling me that the conversation is over, so I can't say anything else. Back then, I was a rookie, so keeping my head above water was all I could do, but Senpai had a lot of problems of her own, huh? Well, I've got to do my best. I tried to say it as calmly as I could, but Sayuri can't hide how shaken she is.
主任さんの指摘も当然だと思います。言われて初めて気がつくなんて、私未熟ですね。
私の方こそごめんね、未熟なプリセプターで。
そういう意味で言ったわけじゃないです。私ちょっと思い上がってたのかもしれません。勉強も実習も好成績で、現場に入っても即戦力として動けるって思ってました。
Master my job here.
でも現場ってそう簡単じゃないんですね。私は新人で圧倒的に経験が足りなくてもどかしいです。
I gently put my arm around her.
そんなに急がなくてもいいよ。さゆりちゃんは今でも十分即戦力だから、無理に急いで成長しなくてもいいんだよ。
香織さん。
さゆり、こっち来て。 Come here。
ちょっと待ってね。順番ね、順番。
Why don't you just come?
I can tell Clarice is getting more and more annoyed. Wanting to be fair, Sayuri has been calling out to the kids in room 306 in order when she gives them their medicine. Then I happened to remember. When Sayuri was still a patient in here, she was the only patient I was in charge of. so I didn't have to worry about being fair with my patients like she is now. It really hammers home just how tough nursing is.
クラリスちゃん、酒井さんが来るまで私とお話しする？無理に構わなくていいのに。
Ugh, she ignored me pretty hard. Clarice is pretty hard to deal with. Unable to come up with any good ideas on Clarice, I spoke with the chief about her. As a result, we're having a conference with all the free day shift nurses.
一番ええは同年代の他の子と仲良くなってちょっとずつ社会性を身につけていくことなんやけど、子供は大人以上に敏感やからな。
クラリスちゃんの場合、外見もありますが、気を許した相手以外は自分の世界に入れないという頑なな面がありますし、
他の子たちもクラリスちゃんの醸し出しているあのギスギスした雰囲気にどう接したらいいのかわからないみたいです。
そうよね。勇気を出して話しかけてもブツブツ何言ってんのかわかんない小声かヒステリックな怒鳴り声しか返ってこないもんね。
他の幹事もクラリスちゃんに興味を持っている様子はあるけど、クラリスちゃんの態度が態度だもの、怖いわよね。
We all let out sighs.
結局なるようにしかならないんじゃないですか。本人次第っていうか。
おやおや藤沢さん、人事みたいにおっしゃいますね。
だって本人が友達なんていらないって思ってるなら、私たちの思いは余計なお世話っていうか。
When we hear a loud noise and the staff scream from the hall, we all dash out to see.
どうしたんですか？
主任さん、306のクラリスちゃんが。
That's all the chief needs to hear before she sprints for room 306. Sayuri and I scramble after her too. Clarice is in the fetal position on the very back bed of 306. After checking to make sure she hasn't vomited, I hold her shuddering shoulders and gently sit her up.
主任、救急カート持ってきたで。
ありがとう。あなたは私の代わりに他のナースたちに指示をお願い。
了解。何かあったらコールしてください。
Sayuri is already measuring Clarice's blood pressure with the meter she took out.
ひどい不整脈で血圧が測りにくい。
I check her opposite wrist.
微弱な脈と血体が多くて、どれを脈拍として数えたらいいのかわかりません。
血体。
The chief looks up at her IV bottle.
ボトルが空になってるわ。
Her words hit us hard, and Sayuri and I look up at the bottle. It's supposed to be about half full around this time, but it's completely empty.
そんな、私ちゃんと適化調整しました。今はそんなこと言ってる場合じゃないでしょ。
The chief pushes the nurse call button.
はい、詰め所。ドクターコールですか？
ボトルが落ちきっているの。あと ECG、12誘導持ってきて。
Sayuri has grown pale and is just shaking. I softly lay Clarice down. She seems to have stabilized a little and holds Sayuri's trembling hand.
大丈夫。さゆりちゃんがちゃんと適化調整してたの私見てたからね。
She nods a little, pale-faced. Since we discovered her quickly, the doctor's treatment led to Clarice recovering from her arrhythmia faster than it would have otherwise. Though her stamina probably played a big part in her recovery too.
困ったわね。
The chief's tone is heavy as she pushes her finger between her brows. As suspected, Clarice had a heart episode from the rapid administration of potassium into her bloodstream.
血中カリウム上昇で不整脈が発生することは分かっています。だから私かなり気をつけて摘果調整していました。
それは私もちゃんと見ていました。酒井さんのせいじゃありません。
I desperately back her up, wanting to prove Sayuri's innocence.
あなたたちはそう言うけれど、現実にボトルの中身は空になってしまっているの。事実は事実よ。
ま、1年目やしな。
The hint of easygoingness on Yamanochi's voice really gets under my skin.
酒井さんのせいじゃありません。
Yamanochi kicks the chair over with a crash.
アホが頭冷やせ騒い。お嬢が犯人やなんて誰も言うとらんやろ。お嬢がどんな優秀な新人でも世間様は新人やからミスをしても当然って思う。ただそれだけのことや。
酒井さんがどんなに有能でも新人であることは事実。ミスをした証拠もなければミスをしてない証拠もないわ。
Senpai, how could you say that? Sayuri's crying, bitter tears next to me. I feel awful about this too, Sayuri. I want to cry too.
私は酒井さんがミスをしたとは思っていないわ。でもね、病院や親御さんのために形式だけでもこういうものが必要なの。
The chief pulls out a sheet of paper. An incident report template. Just the injustice of it all. She hadn't messed up. Why are we making her the villain here? We hole up in the break room, and I instruct Sayuri in writing her report. I don't know what to tell her as she cries her miserable tears. Right now, the chief and the doctor are explaining what had happened to Clarice's parents, who had come running when they heard. Senpai steps into the break room. I guess Yamanochi told her to help us.
渚先輩、何かご用ですか？
親御さんからのクレームは全部主任が引き受けてくれるわ。酒井さんの名前は親御さんには出ないはずよ。
でも私が摘果調整した点滴が目を離していた隙に落ちきっていたのは事実です。
そこよ、腑に落ちないのは。あんたはムカつく子だけど知識に関しては沢井よりも上でしょ。
Ugh, it's embarrassing, but I really can't say anything to that.
危険だと分かってるカリウム入りの点滴を、その摘果ミスをあんたがするなんてどうしても考えられないの。
That's my senpai. She gets it.
いい？病院だって一つの組織よ。汚い大人の世界なの。こんなことで泣いてちゃダメ。インシデントレポートの一つでお咎めなしになるんだから、根性据えて居座り続けなさいよ。
This is Senpai's way of telling Sayuri not to give up or quit. And I was kind of rude at the start, asking her if she needed something like that.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Senpai's words seem to have gotten through, and with tears still in her eyes, Sayuri bows in appreciation. The sight renders Senpai speechless for a moment.
あんたもそんな風に素直に謝ることができるのね。嘘冗談。今酒井さんに辞められちゃうと人員の補充が大変だもん。主任に睨まれちゃう。
With that, Senpai laughs her way out of the break room.
あの人よくわかりません。
そう？今の言葉、すごく渚先輩らしい言葉だったよ。
We look at each other and giggle.
どうしてこんなことが起こったのかは謎だけど、主任さんも渚先輩もちゃんと見てくれてるよ。安心して働いていこう。
はい。一番大きな安心は香織 先輩が見てくれてることですけど。
Just now, Sayuri called me Kari-senpai. Whoa, this is inappropriate, but is this what that moe stuff is? Oh no, my face is burning up.
どうかしました？
なんでもないなんでもないよさあ早くインシデントレポート片付けちゃおうね。
Since she'd sort of caused an incident, Sayuri was removed from being in charge of room 306 under the chief's orders. But since I hadn't been removed from being in charge of said room, I take her into 306 with me as my preceptee.
みんなお熱測りますよ。ベッドに戻ってね。
Sayuri swiftly takes the kids' temperatures. That's right, nothing's actually changed. Aside from Clarice's downcast expression.
クラリスちゃんもはい、お熱測ってね。
Clarice had opened her heart to Sayuri until the IV incident, but now she's closed herself off to everyone. Even if Sayuri talks to her, she won't give her a normal response. Though she does look like she wants to say something. Ultimately, Clarice stayed silent during her vitals test too. I end up leaving room 306 with a very down Sayuri at my side.
私ずっと考えていたんです。
We're drinking sweet milk tea together when Sayuri suddenly speaks up.
あの子、本当に昔の自分に似てるんです。
あの子ってクラリスちゃんのこと？
Sayuri nods.
あの頃の香織さんは、私がどんなにひどいことを言っても笑顔で私に接してくれましたよね。
それが仕事だからね。
I try to sound cool, but I really got depressed a lot after our sessions and made so much trouble for my coworkers. That would probably depress Sayuri to hear, so I keep quiet. And I don't really want Sayuri to know even more about how sloppy her senpai is.
私、自分が素直になれないのがすごく嫌で、ひどいこと言いたくないのについちゃう。そんな自分が大嫌いでしょうがなかったんです。
I hate myself so much.
さゆりちゃん。
When she droops her head, I go up next to her and gently put an arm around her shoulder.
でも、香織さんが逃げずにちゃんと私と向き合ってくれて、私みたいな嫌な子のことを大事だって何度も何度も態度でも言葉でも伝えてくれて、それで
Sayuri starts crying hard. She must have remembered the painful times. I let her know that she doesn't need to cry, not with my words, but with my body on hers.
あの時のこと許してくれますか？
もう昔のことだよ。私は精一杯虚勢を張ったさゆりちゃんも嫌いじゃなかったよ。さゆりちゃんは運命と戦ってただけ。あんまり過酷な戦いで余裕がなくなってただけ。一人で頑張ってた証拠でしょ。
How hard you worked all by yourself.
それに今ここにいるさゆりちゃんはちゃんと自分のことを大事にできる私の大好きなさゆりちゃんでしょ。
I gave her tear-stained cheek an audible kiss. But that must have rubbed her the wrong way because she pushes me away right after.
そうじゃなくて、香織さんに好きって言ってもらうのはすごく嬉しいけど、そこじゃなくて。
落ち着いてさゆりちゃん。はい、深呼吸しましょう。はあ。す。
She seems to have calmed down. Taking deep breaths is surprisingly effective.
クラリスちゃんももしかしたら自分のことが好きになれないのかもってそう思ったんです。
そっか。自分のことが好きじゃないから誰かに理解してもらおうなんて思わないし、お友達も作ろうとしない。
あの子っていかにもハーフな外見ですごく可愛い子だから、もしかしたら学校でいじめられてるのかもしれませんよね。ほら、子供って異質なものを見つけたら即排除したがるじゃないですか。大人よりもその辺残酷ですよね。
そうやって理不尽にいじめられて心を閉ざしたのかもね。
What Sayuri is saying makes a lot of sense. Then, when I don't expect it, she squeezes my hand.
というわけで香織さん、協力してくれますよね。
I look up to see Sayuri's eyes burning with fighting spirit, matching nicely with her confident grin.
なかなか手強い相手だね。
We have our war council in my room as usual.
上等だわ。必ず心を開かせてみせるんだから。
Suffering a strain of defeat seems to have turned on a strange switch in Sayuri. Treats are out of the question based on her condition, and the doctor didn't give his permission, so we decided to go with the letter plan a week ago. Absolutely no effect. And today, Clarice didn't seem to like the origami we passed out for the kids' recreation time. She crumpled up the fresh sheet of folding paper she'd been given and threw it away.
明日はどんな作戦にしようかしら。
さゆりちゃん。
It's a little embarrassing to see how much Sayuri refuses to lose, but watching her makes me think that I wasn't wrong all those years ago. I went all out just like this when Sayuri wouldn't open her heart to me. Then I murmur something that comes to mind.
もしさゆりちゃんがクラリスちゃんの心を開かせて、クラリスちゃんがさゆりちゃんを好きになったら、私とで三角関係になっちゃうね。
That seems to have shocked her because Sayuri drops her empty cup to the floor.
私は香織さん一筋です。それにクラリスちゃんはまだ子供ですよ。私は年上のお姉様に甘えたいんです。
だったら主任さんとか山之内さんとか渚先輩とかたくさんいるじゃない？
ダメです。私は年上なのに可愛くて天然なのにいざっていう時に包容力のある香織先輩にだけ甘えたいんです。
Howdy, senpai. You're the only person I want to spoil me.
さゆりちゃん。
I can't help but blush a little. And Sayuri must have caught the heat on my cheeks because she goes very red too.
何ですか？何なんですか？私を動揺させようって魂胆なんですか？動揺しましたよ。それが何か？仕方ないじゃないですか。本心なんですから。動揺ついでに抱擁でもしてみればどうですか？
さゆりちゃんったら。
As she babbles on, I hug her tight into my chest. She immediately goes quiet. Adorable.
あんまり動揺させないでください。
She was pretty cute when she went on that tangent, though.
ごめんね。
I decide to come clean and apologize. Sayuri calms down, and after letting out a sigh, she hugs me tight. About 2 weeks have passed since the incident. Clarice is in a foul mood today, too. Her condition has stabilized, and the chief managed to get permission for sweets from the doctor, only for a few though. Sayuri poured her heart and soul into making cookies last night in my room, and I helped out. Making the cookies was a lot of fun, but she couldn't have them. Kohaku, back in the hospital to have her diabetes looked after, seemed like she wanted the cookies, but Her blood sugar hadn't stabilized yet, so unfortunately we couldn't let her have any.
まだ他の手があります。落ち込んでなんかいられません。
さゆりちゃん、強いね。
当然です。私を誰だと思ってるんですか？
However, there was an emergency before we could think of our next move. Yamanouchi, who had come to start her night shift, dashed into the nurse's station.
琥珀ちゃん履いてるで。
沢井さん、酒井さん、救急カートと替えの理念を持って行って、バイタル測定も忘れちゃダメよ。藤沢さんはデキスターで血糖チェックをお願い。インスリンスケールを持っていくのを忘れずにね。私もドクターを呼んですぐに行きます。
A blood sugar check revealed that it had spiked, and an insulin injection stabilized Kohaku's condition, but
クラリスさん曰く、沢井さんがクッキーを折り紙に包んで306の幹事全員に配っていたとのことよ。
I'm nothing but surprised at the chief's statement. Sayuri's eyes are wide beside me, too.
ありえないわね。
私じゃないですよ。私そんなことしてません。
I scrambled to defend myself, unconvincingly, I might add. Sure, I wrapped the cookies Sayuri made in origami, and Sayuri passed them out to all the kids in 306 except for Kohaku. We didn't give one to Kohaku, and we explained why we couldn't.
ごめんなさい。誤解を与えてしまったわね。私が言いたいのは、そんなくだらない嘘が通じると思っている彼女の精神構造がありえないということよ。
Senpai gives me an exasperated jab to the side with her elbow.
おバカ。主任さんが今さらあんたを疑うわけないでしょ。
Sayuri looks at the chief and Senpai with worried eyes.
はあ、おバカがもう一人。今さらなのよ。沢井にしても酒井さんにしても、主任さんはあんたたちをかけらも疑ってないの。
連れてきました。
Everyone present looks over at the entrance. Looking much better, Kohaku is half hiding behind Yamanouchi's back.
ごめんなさいね、琥珀ちゃん。担当直入に聞くけど、どうしていきなり血糖が上がったの？
クラリスちゃんが沢井さんが作ったクッキーは味がないって言って、病気の子でも食べられるように作ったらしいから食べてみてよって。食べちゃダメって言われてたんですけど、つい。その後で甘ったるいジュースをくれました。クラリスちゃんが気に入ってるジュースだって。でも飲んだらすごく気分が悪くなって。
ちょっと前の話になるけど、クラリスちゃんが具合悪くなった時があったやん。
ああ、おじさんとおばさんが怒鳴り込んで騒いでた時のことですね。
あん時クラリスちゃん点滴触ってへんかった？
点滴触ると看護婦さんに叱られるよって言ったら、ゴミ箱投げつけられました。
ビンゴか。
I glance at Sayuri. She's just gripping at the hem of her uniform and looking down with a complicated, indescribable expression. This is probably a truth she didn't want to hear, and the thought makes pain shoot through my chest. It's the night shift now, but because of the incident with Kahaku, we can't leave yet. This time, Clarice is called over to the break room, where Sayuri and the chief are.
どうなるのかしら。
わかりません。
I'm worried about how hurt Sayuri looked when she saw Clarice.
ていても何もいいことなんかないじゃない。
When I hear a loud crash and Clarice shouting about something very serious sounding, I quickly open the break room door.
私の何が悪い。好きでこんな顔に生まれてきたわけじゃない。こんな髪の色に生まれてきたわけじゃない。こんな目の色なんて大嫌い。こんな試練を与える神様なんて信じない。病気になったこんな体いらない。
Clarice's shoulders go up and down through labored breaths. I realize that the crash was of Clarice throwing a cup. There are fragments of porcelain at her feet.
あなたがどんなに嫌っても、その体があなたのものという事実は変わらないわ。
だったらこんな体捨ててやる。私はみんなと同じ黒髪が欲しかった。さゆりのような黒い髪が良かった。
髪の色が問題なら染めればいいわ。顔が嫌なら整形すればいい。目の色が嫌ならカラーコンタクトレンズもある。そうすればあなたはあなたの体のことを好きになれるの？はっ、くだらない。
Sayuri stands up and lays into Clarice.
あんたのそんなちっぽけなニヒリズムで琥珀ちゃんは死ぬかもしれなかったのよ。わかる？あんたは殺人者よ、キラー。山之内さんがたまたま部屋を覗かなければ琥珀ちゃんは死んでいたかもしれないのよ。この人殺し。あんたがあんたの都合で自分勝手に死ぬなら勝手に自殺でも何でもすればいいわ。でもそれは退院してからにして。
ちょっと酒井さん、相手はまだ子供なんだから手加減してあげないと。
When the chief tries to pacify Sayuri, she lets out a quiet sigh.
私がクラリスちゃんの年齢の時、親はとうに離婚してて、私は母親から食べるものも満足に与えてもらえませんでした。近所の人から食事をもらう生活、信じられますか？
That mother of mine wouldn't pay school lunch fees, and I had no clothes. No one would be my friend, what with me and my rags.
私が愛されないのは私が悪い子だから。だから私は自分が嫌いで、自分なんかいなくなればいいって思ってました。
さゆりちゃん。
I've never heard this part of Sayuri's past before. I figured she had a poor relationship with her mother, since she'd given Sayuri her inheritance early and cut herself out of her life, but I didn't know it was this awful.
病気になってこの病院に入院して、鬱陶しい新人が担当になって気晴らしにいじめてみたりもしたけれど、全然気分は晴れなくて。ねえ、あなた点滴いじって人のせいにしてみたり、琥珀ちゃんに甘いものを食べさせたりして気が晴れた？自分が不幸だと思っている間は不幸にしかなれないの。幸せになりたいなら幸せになりたいって強く願わなきゃダメ。
When Sayuri says that, Clarice starts bawling.
でもなあ、無理。私はみんなと同じじゃない。そうかな。私はクラリスちゃんの外見好きだな。ほら、私外見が普通でしょ。
Senpai's tone is relaxed.
特に美人ってわけでもなく、もちろんブスってわけでもない。こんな外見だと患者さんに名前を覚えてもらえないのよね。
私はあなたの丸くて大きな目が羨ましいわ。私って釣り目だから普通にしていても怒ってるのって聞かれちゃうのよ。
私はそのぷっくりした唇が可愛いなって思う。目も大きいし、大人になってお化粧したらきっとものすごく映えると思う。
私は自分の黒い髪が嫌いだから、クラリスちゃんみたいな髪になってみたいかしら。この髪で三つ編みにするとしめ縄のようになっちゃうんだから。知ってる？しめ縄、神社にあるんだけど。
しめ縄。
Sayuri softly puts her arms around Clarice.
あなたのこと一番愛してあげられるのはあなただけ。自分のことを愛してあげられないうちは幸せは来ないの。私はクラリスちゃんが好きよ。クラリスちゃんはどう？
ごめんなさい。
謝る相手が違うでしょ。あなたが謝る相手は沢井さんと。
私はいいの。久しぶりにクッキー食べられたから。
Kohaku is standing at the entrance. Yamanouchi standing behind her with a mischievous grin.
ついでやから連れてきてしまいました。
When she sees Kohaku, Clarice stands up.
Sorry. 私ね、クラリスちゃんのことずっと可愛いなって思ってたの。だからね、クラリスちゃんがくれたクッキー食べちゃダメなんだって分かってたけど、どうしても食べたかったの。琥珀ねえ、私と友達になってくれる？ Amazing。 私の方こそ。
Clarice shakes off Sayuri's arms and throws hers around Kohaku.
Sorry。 ごめんね。もういいってば。
Ah, now we have a cute new friendship on our hands.
琥珀 I love it。 日本語で何？
Wait, is she saying what I...
大好きって言葉でいいと思うよ。そう。琥珀大好き。
Yamanouchi's grinning to herself, but I'll leave her be. I look to see that the chief and senpai are making somewhat strange faces too, but, well, whatever.
本当にクラリスちゃんは私と同じだったんですね。
Sayuri sips the tea I made her, then lets out a sigh.
さゆりちゃん。
I don't know what to say after hearing Sayuri's tragic past.
私の過去について気にしてるんですか？だったらもう終わったことです。気にしないでください。それよりも今ですよ。私幸せです。自殺なんかしなくてよかったってつくづく思います。
Joy starts to bubble up inside me. I'm so glad. I'm so happy she's by my side now.
それにしてもあそこまで私と同じにならなくてもいいと思いませんか？
あそこまでって？
八つ当たりした相手に心を開かされていい雰囲気になることですよ。
いい雰囲気って、クラリスちゃんも琥珀ちゃんもまだ子供なんだし。
三つ子の魂100までってことわざもありますよね。
She sounds so confident, but hearing that confidence reminds me of something.
気を悪くしたらごめんね。さゆりちゃんの初恋の人って。
小学校の担任の先生だったかな。ふんわりしたワンピースが似合う先生でした。すぐにいなくなっちゃったけど。
Oh, was that the teacher who worried about Sayuri and made her the omelet?
香織さんは絶対に私の前からいなくならないでください。いなくなるなら先にそう言って。
ずっといるよ。
I didn't want to hear any more, so I interrupted her with a hug.
私がさゆりちゃんのそばにいたいの。だからずっとここにいるよ。
When I gently bring my face close to hers, she closes her eyes.
さゆりちゃんこそいなくならないでね。
はい、約束します。ずっと一緒です。
Forever I'll be your sanctuary もう迷わない守
Yeah.
ってあげるね真っ白な迷路迷い込んだみたい過去とか未来も鏡の向こう側涙で濡れる君の手のひら温める呪文を唱える Forever I'll be your shelter 痛みも全部耐えてみせるからその傷も嘘も丸ごと君を包んであげるね Forever I'll be your sanctuary 本当の君を見せてほしいから古い傷ほども癒える時まで包んであげるね
2 months later, Clarice's Graves' disease started to show signs of getting better after her pollen allergies cleared up, and since she's well enough to go home, she's leaving the hospital today. Oh, and since Kohaku had gotten sick from the cold wave at the end of spring and couldn't control her blood sugar, her hospital stay was more of a preventive measure. She left after about 2 weeks. She would come to visit Clarice whenever she was off school, though, and every time Yamanouchi saw them together in the hospital room, she'd sneer to herself. Don't become a no-good grown-up like Yamanouchi, alright, you two? But as much as I want to say that to them, I feel like going into detail would sully their young ears, so I have to keep quiet, if only.
大変お世話になりました。
Clarice bows politely. Sayuri's already teary-eyed beside her.
私、さゆりや皆さんたちのように病院で働けるよう勉強しようと思います。ダディは私がやる気があるなら医者を目指してもいいって言ってくれました。それで琥珀のような病気の子を治してあげたいと思います。
ほほ、ドクターか。あっちの白衣もいいよね。
勉強も大事だけど健康も大事よ。勉強のしすぎで具合が悪くなるようではいけないわよ。
大丈夫。私が熱を出すと琥珀が悲しそうな顔をするから。でも夢があるから頑張ります。
なんかどっかで聞いたことがあるセリフだわね。
Clarice bows her head one last time, then gets on the elevator.
クラリスちゃん、元気でね。さゆりも今まで本当にありがとうございました。じゃあ失礼します。
The elevator door slowly closes. When it closes fully, I find myself whispering,
ねえ、クラリスちゃんって私のことは完全無視なの？
That all aside, even without Clarice in the ward, I've got a lot of patients to deal with. My days are still busy. And tomorrow we have our first day off together in ages. I get to lounge around with Sayuri tonight. Sayuri cries out when she looks at her phone.
ねえ、香織さん、見て。
On the screen are Clarice and Kahaku laughing in swimsuits at the pool.
あの二人、プールでデートなんて味な真似よ。
The image seems to have flipped a switch in Sayuri. She gets really competitive in the strangest places.
香織さん、明日海に行きましょう。
海で泳ぐにはまだ寒いと思うよ。
いいんです。私が行きたいから行くんです。それとも香織さんは嫌なんですか？
嫌じゃないけど。
じゃあ決まりですね。明日は早起きしてお弁当作らなきゃ。じゃあ私帰りますね。おやすみなさい。
But I wanted to lounge around and chat with Sayuri tonight. The seawater in June is still a little cold, but since the sun is directly over us, the chilly water feels really nice.
ずっとね、香織さんと海に来たかったんですよ。
Sayuri is innocently enjoying herself.
だったら言ってくれればよかったのに。さゆりちゃんが学生の時なら夏休みとか遊ぶ時間を目いっぱい合わせられたのに。
ダメです。私は看護師になってから思う存分遊ぶんだって決めてましたから。
まあ真面目だな。
But really, I just love Sayuri so much, and how serious she is too.
実はね、琥珀ちゃんが教えてくれてたんですよ。彼女が退院するちょっと前に。ずっと病室の窓から見てた同じ海なのに、クラリスちゃんと会ってからなんだか全然違う海に見えるって。
Oh, Sayuri had been talking with Kaku without me.
そんなこと言うから、それは恋をしたからじゃないかなって言ったら。
言ったら
恥ずかしそうに微笑んでました。
Kahaku's really reserved, so that sounds like her. I smile and sip the tea Sayuri made us, imagining Kahaku's scene playing out with a warm heart.
私が入院してた頃、琥珀ちゃんはまだほんの子供で引っ込み思案で泣いてばかりいる子ってイメージだったけど、でも人は成長するんですね。あの子笑いながら退院の日に告白するんだって言ってました。
そっか、琥珀ちゃんもう子供じゃないんだ。
それで琥珀ちゃんから女の子同士の交際のコツを教えてほしいって言われて。
I choke on my tea a little.
あら、
大丈夫ですか、香織さん。急いで飲むから。それでさゆりちゃんはなんて答えたのかな。そんなの簡単です。
With a cheerful smile, Sayuri looked away from me into the sparkling sea.
相手のことが大好きな自分の気持ちにちゃんと素直になること、そう教えておきました。クラリスちゃんが香織さんにそっけなかったのは、香織さんのことが羨ましかったからでしょうね。
羨ましいって何が？
もう香織さんって本当に V ですよね。私が香織さんのこと大好きだってことが分かったからでしょ。というより、誰かから 100% の気持ちを向けられるあなたが羨ましくてならなかったんでしょうね。
私だってさゆりちゃんのこと大好きなのに。
私は極端ですから。正直言うと、香織さんさえいればあとはどうでもいいんです。でも香織さんは違うでしょ。藤沢さんや山之内さん、主任さんがいて、さらにそこに私がいなきゃ嫌な、とっても欲張りさんですもんね。
You know, she's probably right.
だからいつも私だけを見てなんてわがままは言いません。でも二人きりの時によそ見したら。
したら？
Her face comes closer.
暴れます、たくさん。
それは大変。まずはマウストゥーマウスで口を塞いで愛情を吹き込んであげたら元に戻るかな。
やってみてください。
そう、じゃあやっちゃおう。
Waiting for after I'd breathe into her, she breathes right back into me.
さゆりちゃん。
愛情は吹き込まれるより吹き込んで吸い上げられる方がいいかもですね。吸い上げられれば吸い上げられるほど、胸の奥の方から愛情がどんどん溢れてこぼれちゃいそうになるような気がします。
さゆりちゃん、その言葉はちょっとエッチだよ。
わざとですよ。エッチな私は嫌いですか？
She giggles at me. She really is a handful. But
嫌いなわけないでしょ。どんどん溢れて私でいっぱいにしてあげたいくらい大好きよ。
香織さん、大好き。
she's a handful, but she sure is cute. What am I going to do? Sayuri's just too cute. Alright, so that's Sayuri done. All her pictures. Okay, so next time I'm gonna do Ami's route. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one where we start Ami. So yeah, see ya!